What's up, YouTube? We got a yo-yo review to do today. I know it's been a while, and now coming to you in even more stunning HD. This is the Duncan Mayhem. So Duncan Mayhem has been out a little while. I actually got this for Christmas, but I had so many new yo-yos to review, I didn't get to it. And quite honestly, I got burned out on yo-yo reviews for a little bit. So I didn't really want to dig into my case and find the stuff I hadn't reviewed yet. But back at it, we're gonna fire out some yo-yo reviews here coming up in March. Just to FYI, East Coast Masters is at the end of this month, so make sure you check the links in the description if you're coming. I think I got this from my friends and the good sponsors of East Coast Masters, Yoyo Sam. Yoyo Sam is out of stock on these now, but there are still a few more of other friend of the channel, Yoyo Expert. They still have a couple more, including, I think, one more blue one. This blue is stunning. So let's talk about the Duncan Mayhem. So the Duncan Mayhem is sort of a reissue of what was the Screaming Eagle lineup of yo-yos from way back in the day, 2008-ish, I believe. I wasn't in the game at the time. But it was machined by my favorite people at One Drop. So, machined at One Drop. And they did the same thing. Made in USA, machined by One Drop. Let's talk about the specs. 54mm diameter, 45.25 millimeters wide with a 4.76 millimeter gap width. Muy bueno. The weight is 64.9 grams. Comes with 19mm slim pads. The One Drop ones, actually, we'll take a look at. 6061 aluminum, designed in the USA, made in the USA. Was released just about a year ago, February of 2019. So Duncan Mayhem, quite possibly my favorite Duncan yo-yo ever. It's a beautiful organic shape, fits very nicely. Full size, not too small. Usually, this is kind of a weird shape or weird size for an organic yo-yo in my opinion. Usually they're big or really small. This is sort of regular. Here it is next to a Duncan. What's this one? Counterpunch. Pretty similar in size. See? So this is really just a regular full-size yo-yo. So if you like organics, but you're like, God, they're all so small, or like, I don't really want these huge, hulking, beefy ones, this is the one. It's in the middle. It's the normal-sized one. I love the big button there in the middle. I think that's very aesthetically pleasing. I like the engraving just on the side there, Duncan Mayhem. It's only on one side of the yo-yo too. Overall, I really like this yo-yo a lot. It's very chill, very smooth, very organic, machined wonderfully. One Drop does an amazing job. It's got that old school flair to it, but it's obviously modern, machined, and everything. It does come with the Duncan. Actually, it has the Duncan response pads in it. It comes with the Duncan bearing as well. The Duncan 10-ball concave licensed bearing. Very nice. I've got mine strung up with Zipline Strings, and they do use the Duncan red pads, which usually are too grabby, but because the gap is a little wider in this one, it's pretty much perfect. Pretty much perfect. But let's go ahead and throw this thing around. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Duncan Mayhem. So, first thing upon throw you will notice is smoothness. This is a high-quality top-end yo-yo, and it is a top-end design that has top-end smoothness. One Drop smoothness, if you would be so inclined. The response is good. Even though the gap width is slightly wider, you get good response. It's really well balanced, so it flops really well. Very chill. Not so much a speed yo-yo or a competition yo-yo. There's no like step to keep the yo-yo off the pads. It's really just, and I'll show you when I take it apart. It's just kind of straight to the pad, straight to the point, very old school styling, old school butterfly organic type stuff. But done in the most perfect way. Good long spin times though, plenty stable. Not really a speed yo-yo by any stretch of the imagination. Doesn't really want to go fast, and you can blow it off plain if you start trying to go fast. But just a good chill. It feels good. Like, that's probably the best way to describe it, is that like it feels really good. Plays really smooth. and it's really a very calm yo-yo. Rejects are nice, very easy. Lines also very reliable. Grinds, got that like pure matte one drop finish, which is sort of a stone wash. Works very good. Nice smooth yo-yos. I feel like smoothness is almost as important as the finish is when it comes to grinds. Very smooth, nice stone wash, pure matte finish. Feels great. Thumb grinds are very doable. Oop. I tilted the wrong way. Nice big lip there to get your thumb into. Finger spins, nothing to stop you, but it's not really a horizontal type of yo-yo. Finger spins are doable, but I wouldn't call this a finger spin yo-yo per se, but very doable. So all of your arm grinds, finger spins, talon grinds, acceptable. Doesn't excel at any of them, but acceptable. This is just sort of a chill, take with you, wander around and throw type of yo-yo. And that's really what you would expect out of something like this, right? Sort of old school flavor with modern machining, smoothness, and precision. So, I love it. Best Duncan ever. You heard it here first. All right, Duncan Mayhem. Let's do some mayhem. All right, take it apart. So, one drop machined comes apart like a one drop does and should. Standard axle that one drop uses, the not stainless steel one, the one that lasts an eternity. Very nice. Red silicone response pads, Duncan ones. These fit perfectly into the grooves. I've had problems with other Duncans not, but because one drop machined these, perfection. This groove was machined to fit this pad perfectly, and it does. You can see it's, I mean, just looking at it, it's doesn't stick up, not even a hair, not even a hair of a hair. We're talking 100% perfection, and that's what you get with one drop. As you can see, it flattens out, no real swoop to speak of, it just sort of flattens out right before the pad. Very old school type of design. Usually, newer designs have like a bump usually between there just to kind of facilitate some horizontal play a little better. This is true to the original design where it does not do that. It's just a C. Very butterfly. E, maybe a little bit belled, but not really much. Comes with the Duncan 10 ball concave. Spins quiet, spins smooth. So the Duncan 10 ball stuff, because Duncan I'm sure has ordered these in such bulk, usually they have some dust or something in them just from sitting. I'm sure it's just from them sitting because they probably order them by the tens of thousands. So generally I feel like every Duncan yo-yo I have to either work in some way, or I just end up cleaning it and blowing it out with like canned air, like the electronics cleaner, canned air, and re-lubing it, and then they're always like this. I don't think I ever clean them again. Usually they just spin and go quiet and forever, and this one's perfect. Came apart beautifully, like doesn't sit on the seat perfectly snug either, which is a Sean thing. He hates that. I like it too. So you can remove the bearing with just your fingers, because One Drop did machine it after all. Goes back together nice and perfect. Honestly, this is the best Duncan I've ever played, I think. The best metal one, anyway. Let's do pros and cons. Pros. Price ain't too bad. I think these are $70. And for a US designed, machined yo-yo, that is pretty darn good. The fade, I think there's some fades left, are $75. So for US machined and done yo-yos, the price is right on point. $70 is about what you expect to spend. Maybe $5 more for a little bit more of intensive finish, a little bit more labor-intensive finish. But this is just perfect. Great for grinds, great for thumb grinds, great for finger spins. Really can kind of handle everything, but in your sort of normal everyday chill. I'm not trying to compete with this. I'm just trying to have a good time. And oh boy, is this yo-yo a good time. Really just handles whatever you want to do with it. I can't think of, if you like organic yo-yos, you're going to like this yo-yo. Period. That's it. You're going to play it and you're going to, man, this is a great yo-yo. And it is. Period. Like, it plays good. It feels good. It looks good. Simple. God, I love the blue that they use at One Drop. Honestly, this is probably, in my opinion, like 50% a One Drop yo-yo at least, if not more. That's probably why I like it so much. It just holds a lot of those qualities, but it does have a lot of the Duncan design elements in things as well, like the Duncan pads, which are a little grippier, and honestly, in my opinion, generally a little too grippy, at least for the size of strings that I like to use. But they did a great job widening the gap on this one to sort of facilitate that not being an issue. So really, really like this a lot. As far as cons are concerned, there really aren't any. They're almost sold out. That's the thing. It came out about a year ago. They're almost sold out. I don't know if Duncan's going to do a restock of these because they'd have to get One Drop to do them. But get them while you can, because there's a few on Yo-Yo Expert. There'll be a link down in the description. I'm going to check Yo-Yo Sam too. It looked like they were sold out on Yo-Yo Sam. If I can find any anywhere else, the links will be in the description. But Duncan Mayhem. Oh boy, what a good yo-yo. That's going to do it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers to you. I'll see you next time.